no, please, no!
For some reason, I thought of my first fight with Tyler.
Welcome to the 611 Films YouTube channel. We are back in 99. My name is David Groves, is one of your hosts, and with me as always,
Neil McKay. What is going on?
What is happening? We are coming to the end of 99. It's so sad. This is like
Three movies.
This is number 3. Then we'll do 2, 1, and then we'll have honorable mentions that we've already filmed. But we'll put that probably at the very end of everything of movies we came out. Like so many movies came out in 99 that we aren't doing, but we did a long kind of.
It'd be like
fast-paced
200 pods.
Yeah, like we did a fast-paced. Like, did you ever see that? No, we didn't see that. So that'll be at the very, very end of this. But today we are doing one of my all-time favorites, Fight Club.
And the number one rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club.
Do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
So that's it. That's the episode.
So see you guys.
Bye.
Have a good one. And yeah, have a great day. Yeah. It was come on. It was there. It was right there.
It was inevitable.
It's inevitable. Well, Fight Club, I mean, to me, I guess it has a little bit of a special place in my heart because it was the
right
first
behind
movie.
You.
Yeah, I was going to say I do have a poster of it. Thanks for reminding me of that. But it was actually the first movie I saw in a theater when I went to college, when I went to Mason, because I believe it came out around October of 99. So, like, I just kind of met up with these guys with a fraternity, and I love Seven. I don't think I remember the game that much, but I was like, I don't think I was as interested. But I said, sure, why not? Get out of the apartment, get out of the dorm. I mean, I don't know which theater we went to, somewhere in Fairfax, but it was amazing. I mean, and to see it on the big screen, I think at that time, a movie with such like bravado, so the sound and the score and just visualization, like everything about it just kind of hit me. Like, I think we were even saying, my buddy and I, it was a movie that you didn't really stop thinking about for another few days, which doesn't really happen to me that often anymore. But it was really impactful, and I really liked it. And I've now owned everything of it. I've had this poster, of another poster. I'm the quintessential frat boy kid that saw it at 8, like that time when you see it, and it's like just hitting DVDs, and you've got all the special features. And
it's funny that you say that because you are actually, that might be the reason I don't like this movie as much as you.
All right, everyone, chill.
Because when I saw this, I mean, I really was like, "This is."
I feel like we're going into that Boondock Saints territory here.
I don't think so. Because the difference between this was very slick and very cool and very well done, and Boondock Saints I felt like was a caricature of itself.
Yeah.
So I really like this movie. I think it just takes a little bit of a hit to me because it was this like angsty teen, frat boy. It's so cool. Brad Pitt's so cool. And I'm like, okay, I think a lot of people, not saying you, but like a lot of people kind of miss the point. And it's like, he's not supposed to be cool. Like, It's basically like people are so bored with their lives that they like go join a cult and he's the cult leader. And it's like, this is not, this is like kind of like, it's just like, man, like where have we got, like, this is what we're doing now. And it's like, and I don't know. I just felt like these people were like falling and fawning over Brad Pitt and falling in love with him. And I'm like, I think the movie was successful in kind of getting you into this. Like,
for 20 years, every guy on the internet wanted Brad Pitt's workout from Fight Club because they wanted to look exactly like him.
And everyone like idolized him. And I'm like, but that was like the point of the movie. It was like, here, like you hate your like Starbucks life and your, cubicle life. Go, follow me, obey Brad Pitt, follow that cult. And it was like, and it sort of worked, and then it just had this like fan base that I was like, oh, I don't think you guys like really get what this movie is like about, you know. And I know that sounds like pretentious and everything, but it was just sort of like, how do you not see that this thing is like about people going psycho because of the
yeah, dude. I mean, look, this movie is a lot about what we've talked about, like there. I mean, in such different varying genres: American Beauty, The Matrix,
Office
Fight Club,
Space, yeah.
Office Space.
Yeah.
I mean, to very comedy to Oscar-winning drama, they're all kind of about this life that people are like, I guess maybe it involves more females. Obviously, Fight Club doesn't really take that perspective, but the male life in the late 90s and the cubicle life, you know, one of the better lines, one of the great, we've had no big adversities to overcome. Like, this generation is the first generation that never had a war to fight, which is kind of poignant to think about. So, like,
God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables, slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
Aggression and this kind of stuff, like I don't know. I mean, I do know what you mean by like sort of like you might be losing that message or the that mentality got lost on
I think that's the thing. Like, the message of the movie was kind of drowned out, and it was sort of like, I mean, but it kind of served. It's like, it kind of, that was the message. Like, it sort of like lulled these people into this, like, you know, rabid fan base. And it was like, oh yeah, but that's what the movie's talking about. Like, oh, you don't like your boring life? Come over here. This is so much cooler. And then you're just a slave to Tyler Durden. Like, and you're just like a pawn, you know, just like you were, but now you're his pawn. And it's like, that was the point, you know?
Yeah.
But
the stuff thing, I think, is I will say this, the American consumerism aspect, I think really I took more of that away from anything else. And don't get me wrong, as a filmmaker, you know, I love my cameras and gadgets and the computers and new software and stuff like that. But I did take that, like that whole, you know, remember the IKEA scene with Edward Norton when he's lying down watching TV and falling asleep, or like there was that scene of, you know, I need this desk, and I need this lamp, and I need this thing, and this will make me happy. And I think American Beauty did that well too, in that scene with him and Annette Bening when, you know, he spills a little bit of beer on a couch, and it's just a couch.
Yeah.
Lester, you're going to spill beer on the couch.
So what? It's just a couch.
Yeah.
You know, these are just things. And I think that American consumerism idea I've always taken to heart.
Yeah.
Of I just don't, you know, need that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. Yeah. I totally get that. And that was, I mean, there was many messages with this movie, and that was one that was kind of like an FU to Starbucks and like the whole, you know, cookie cutter, you know, culture and everything. And yeah, like, you know, screw all that. You don't need that. Like, what's your, you know, purpose and what makes you happy, and like the adrenaline rush of like waking up and, you know, and all of these things.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's got its message today. I mean, look at you know, the alpha males and the rise and grind culture today. I mean, they've taken it so much further than Fight Club ever did. I mean, you know, you got to be up at 4 a.m, working out, and
I mean, it was
meditate, journal, and you need to be on your hustle for 19 hours a day.
It was kind of a prophetic movie in that way. It's like, oh man, these are like the dangers of kind of, you know, of these things. And you know, you break off from this cult, and now you join another one of, you know, the cult of whatever.
Yeah, which is kind of like how Norton did it. I mean, from the movie. I mean, going from support groups, you know, was his thing
just
before he, you know, kind of obviously. Come on, guys, this can't be a spoiler, but they're the same person, obviously. Edward Norton is just given no name, and he is Tyler Durden too. So if you didn't know that, there you go. But just to bring it back, like before the Fight Club stuff started, that was sort of his way of coping with his kind of dull, boring life.
Yeah,
it's going to support groups, listening to people that have it even worse than him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I mean, it really was, and I'm not detracting from the movie at all. I mean, I thought that twist was brilliant. I kind of, when I saw it, I didn't expect that at all. But I think when I watched it, I was more interested in that, like, oh wow, what's gonna happen to Edward Norton and then this guy, and then it's like he's in too far with the Tyler Durden thing, and it's like, wait a minute, this is out of control, and it just was a very fascinating. It wasn't just about fighting. Like, it was like this whole other, world that they built and all these things and these subplots and everything. And it was really, really well done and fascinating, well acted. It's Fincher, for God's sakes. I mean, at this point, he could do no wrong for me, because I really liked the game. Extremely far-fetched. You have to suspend disbelief with that movie.
Right.
But I mean, to do 7, the game, and then this, I was like, damn, Fincher, like, that's the 3 in a row.
And this had a tough road ahead of it. I remember I can't remember the name of the book. I'll throw it on the screen for people. But there is an entire section where 20th Century Fox was getting cuts of this movie and truly did not have any hope for it. They thought it was way too dark, way too like sadistic, nihilistic.
What did they think it was going to be, though? Like, what
I don't know.
What were they hoping?
If they did not read the Chuck Palahniuk novel that came from it, this comes from a novel, obviously. Right. For those that don't know what that as well, I don't know. But they were doing screeners, and I don't know the fuller details. I mean, I can look some of that stuff up online, because I read this book a long time ago, which was a lot about the 90s and up and coming filmmakers like Fincher and stuff like that. And obviously he had the hit with 7, but then the game didn't do as well, and it was pretty dark too. And it's like, this guy does the dark stuff. And I don't think really Brad Pitt or Edward Norton had really truly, Ed Norton just coming off of Primal Fear, and
he was riding
they were
the
getting,
wave.
They were big, but I think
he did American History X at this point, right?
Yeah, he'd done American History X as well. I don't know. I guess there was something in the water over at 20th Century Fox that was just like, this movie's going to tank.
Yeah,
and
it kind of did.
To be
right?
honest, yeah, you're right. I was going to say, to be honest, it didn't really do as they saw. It definitely had a bigger DVD blowout. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
and I think even David Fincher said later, it was like, it was because of that it didn't have a chance, because they didn't market it right, or and then he was trying to kind of like, oh, okay, it was a bomb, let's try this DVD capitalization kind of thing, and that's when it kind of became, it found its groove.
Right.
Which is interesting, because I don't really remember it ever being a bomb, because I remember seeing it whenever it came out, and it just kind of, to me, it was kind of like an instant hit. Like, oh man, this was wild. And maybe
I don't know if maybe based on the budget. Again, I can throw that up on screen as far as that goes, because I don't remember that that well. But I guess with the amount of money that they did put in, I mean, you've got 2 rising stars and a lot of big set pieces, and fairly long movie, some special effects stuff. So I could see them thinking, like, this isn't going to be an action. Like, to me, I always thought this was going to be, it's Fight Club. It's going to be kind of more of like, I knew it wasn't going to be a Van Damme or like people just going into a ring and fighting each other. It was going to have a little bit more, obviously, meat and potatoes to it. But I don't know.
It ends up being right behind you, like buildings crumbling down to the ground. You know what I mean? So.
Like I said, I'll throw all that stuff on screen, because
I think I saw it got 100 million worldwide, but I think the budget was 60 million. I'm going off of memory. I feel like I saw that recently, but I who knows? You'll have the stats.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they definitely, truly. I mean, with whatever trinkets, posters, like you said, the DVD sales, within the special edition release, and then a Blu-ray release, and then it being on TV. I mean, it was on Spike TV probably every day. They had the deadliest shows in the world.
Yeah,
they had the Man Show, I think, when it went off Comedy Central. It was a very bro channel.
Yeah.
I'll throw that up too.
Yeah, no.
It was basically like when Office Space was getting played on Comedy Central for 3 years straight every weekend. Fight Club was getting played on Spike TV.
That was on Spike TV, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's my whole thing with the movie. It was like so much more than just this, alpha male fighting, stuff. It was like, and that's what it's kind of remembered for by a lot. And it's like, no, it was such a, like, intricate story, and it's sort of like just I don't know.
Yeah. Well, hey, I really liked it. I'm sure most of you that are watching this have obviously seen it, of course. What did you think? Throw out a comment or two on how you feel about Fight Club. Thanks again for watching, wrapping this series up. It's been a lot of fun. Give it a like, give it a subscribe while you're here. That would be awesome. And we'll see you guys on the next Back in 99.